I normally don't make stuff like this on here, but like I need to talk to somebody right now because what have y'all seen that video of that lady on TikTok who's like, guys, I know that I voted for Donald Trump 3 times, but like I've seen the error of my ways. Why is everybody being so mean to me?
You know, I thought it would be easier the more I talked about leaving MAGA, being a 3-time Trump voter. But I have to be completely honest with you that it's not getting easier. And it actually feels like it's getting more difficult because I'm gaining more empathy. And I don't think people really realize how counterintuitive the hate that I receive when you can take one look at my page and see that I am doing the work. I read a comment this morning that I'm not stitching because I don't want hate to come our way. But you'll understand why I'm reading it. I've been deconstructing from Christianity and left MAGA. I do not speak about it because the hate you receive from the left is no different from the hate you received when you were in the cult. I'm just minding my own business and rewiring my whole belief system. What people don't understand is how hard it is to actually wake up and realize your entire life has been a lie, and now you have to start over from scratch. I'm not going to allow any negativity from anyone into my life. It's hard enough to do this. I can't see. I had to stop and gather myself. Not only that, I'm not going to be a part of any political party or religion ever again, so the expectation of the left thinking we have to vote blue now in order to make amends or something is not something I want to be a part of.
I'm flabbergasted, absolutely flabbergasted on how she watched that back and decided, bet, let me post this real quick. I'm sorry. You want me to feel bad for you and expect people to have sympathy for you because you voted for a felonious pedophile 3 times. You've had 10 years to get this right. 10 years. And I've seen some people, a lot of non-American people as well, being like, guys, we gotta find it in the love of our hearts to open it up. Hugs. It drives me insane. Just like forgive her. It's right? No, because here's the thing, right? She's not doing this now because of the love in her heart. She's doing it because it affects her now. If all of this stuff was still only affecting Black or brown people, Native people, gay, trans, bisexual people, anybody else, any marginalized group of people, she wouldn't give a shit, right? The only reason why she's seen the light now is because it's hard for her. That's it. And you know how I know? Because instead of being like, guys, listen, I accept the criticism. Okay, I'm going to spend the rest of my life atoning for the atrocities that I've contributed to. Instead, she went online begging for sympathy. And I think a lot of people use the word cult kind of to get off the hook a little bit and be like, guys, I didn't know what I was doing. But like, it's not like a doomsday death cult. It's not like y'all believe in aliens and you're going to drink the Kool-Aid. Like, this is y'all's literally just thriving off of hatred of everyone who isn't you. And I don't think using the word cult, even if it is slightly accurate to a lot of the psychosis that people experience, is enough to excuse what you were a part of. You know what I mean? And so a lot of the rest of this video is just me going over a lot of the stuff that these MAGA people believe and why it's a little too late to say I'm sorry almost 10 years later. And the first thing that these people say is like, oh, just look at that, the tolerant left. I don't have to be tolerant to your intolerance. I don't have to be tolerant of the fact that you are okay with racism and homophobia and apparently pedophilia because a lot of y'all are married to them. And make excuses on TikTok in the comment section, be fighting with people, but claim that you're pro-life as well. And then have the audacity, right? This is how they'll be, right? They'll be walking up, right? Going to church on Sunday. And they'll be like, guys, I love my church family. I love waking up on a Sunday morning. No, they'll do this. They'll be like, good morning. Mama bear of 58 children here. Sunday morning routine. I'm getting the kiddos ready for a nice day at church. And they'll go to church and they'll be like, I love my church. Pastor Gregory is just like, he gets it, right? He spends like a few hours up on the pulpit talking about how much he hates black people and gay people deserve to die. Yeah. And immigrants are disgusting, and how the only true people of God are white, even though white people didn't even exist in the Bible. And then, after a soul-fulfilling journey, right, then I'm gonna take my beautiful family of 87, and we're gonna go have a lovely dinner, a lovely early dinner at a Mexican restaurant. What? Why are all the racist white people obsessed with Mexican food? If you hate immigrants so much, then why are you eating their food? Take your boiled chicken and eat it somewhere else. How you hate immigrants, but you're willing to hire them for less pay, for more work, exploit them for money, eat their food, steal their culture, gentrify literally everything, but not enough to see them as human beings. And I know there's going to be like a few people who are going to be like, I don't like when people get political. Well, here's the thing, numbnuts. Literally everything is political. From the gas that you put in your car, to the candy bar you buy at the store, to the wipes you buy to wipe your ass. Literally everything is political. Just because apparently you have a fushigi where your brain should be and don't know how to use Google to look things up doesn't mean that they aren't, okay? Can we please? There is a reason why a lot of conservative Trumpy freaks are in red states, and there is a reason why red states are the least educated in this country, period. I'm still just so flabbergasted at the idea that you want the key to the city because you're cosplaying as a good person now, 10 years too late. The absolute unbridled audacity. And then to get mad at people because you voted for a pedophile 3 times. Listen, I know a lot of people are saying I can forgive the first go around. I'm a little iffy on that, okay? Because there was plenty of information on who he was and what he was doing back then, okay? But like three, dumbfounded, absolutely dumbfounded. But Kamala had a weird laugh, right? Right? Yeah. Wonderful. Not to say that I'm obsessed with everything that she's done, but we wouldn't be in war right now with a pedophile, would we? No, we wouldn't. He wouldn't be putting tariffs on things that he doesn't understand on a little tiny island with only fucking penguins on it. Like, are we serious? I genuinely feel like everybody's just in mass psychosis right now. Genuine mass psychosis. And then they'll be like, listen, you guys know I'm not religious at all, but like, they'll be like, but he's a Christian man. He wouldn't even be sworn in with his hand on the Bible. He just says shit to like get on Christian's good side. And instead of being like, maybe I should like not do that. Maybe I should try to be a good person, considering the fact that they say that like atheists and anybody who's essentially non-Christian doesn't have morals. Where do you get your morals from? But you choose to like align yourself with that. I'm prepared to just get nuked at this point. I don't see how I don't see how we're coming back from this. Like, I've seen a lot of people saying that like even when the orange Cheeto expires, we're never really gonna go back to the way we were, at least not for like decades. He's caused so much damage, and I genuinely feel so helpless as like one person, because it's like everybody's poor right now. I don't have the money to donate to things that I would want to organizations, to charities, and even if I did, they're putting things in place to stop the aid from even getting there in the first place. What they literally said, if we arrest everybody in the files, then the entirety of our economy would collapse. Then let it collapse. Why are you okay with having these people who are eating people and doing shit with kids run the country and be the most wealthy and have the most power? Why are you okay with that? Remember in one of my last videos when I said we need outlast trials kind of thing, put them in a wood chipper? I don't know if y'all seen that one movie where they put people in like a hole and then they have like these things come out, and like that's what we need to do. The Hunger Games, but with rich people And like they don't get any handouts. They don't get any drop shipped whatever. You get nothing. Nothing. Just put them in a dome and have them fight for once. Have their misery be our entertainment for once. You'll see this a lot like too, like on TikTok or Instagram. Yes, I watch Instagram reels, okay? I am auntie status at this point. But they'll be like glazing. It'll be like Keith, who makes $32,000 a year, glazing people like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is not going to fuck you, bro. Okay? He's not. He's not going to be like, "Oh, look at that. Look at that Keith right there. Yeah, I'm so cool. I'm going to give you $10 million for your shitty startup for flip-flops or some shit." No, he's not going to do that. He doesn't know you. These people genuinely do not view us as people. They are literally talking about us on record as if we were cattle. Nothing more than numbers. That is all we are. They do not view us as individuals, as people, as humans. It's to the point where they're eating people. And it makes you think to like all these people in like Hollywood or stuff who went missing. Like that one model lady from a while ago from the 90s or the 2000s who went missing because she talked about this stuff. And everybody said, "Oh, she's just a conspiracy theorist." And now the conspiracies are proven true. I'm not saying every conspiracy theory is proven true, obviously. There's people who think that we live in a simulation on a flat disc. And like, you know, obviously. But like a lot of this stuff, most people, I would argue most people in Hollywood are not good people. So why are we glazing them? I do not have a favorite politician because politicians are corrupt. In order to be a politician, you need to be corrupt. That's just how it is, regardless of what side you're on. I'm not trying to be like both sides are equally as bad, because we both know that's not fucking true. Okay. One side is arguably way worse. Okay. They're not perfect, obviously. And I don't agree with, I would argue, even most of the things that they do, but one side is arguably worse. Let's not do that. Let's not be like, oh, yes, all the presidents are war criminals, because why are you bombing shit that we have no business bombing, obviously. But like, we wouldn't be in this situation, you know, with some other people who have sense, at least a little bit, please. Like, I feel like they need to, I don't even know, because IQ tests aren't even accurate, but I feel like we need to do something. Every day I feel like common sense and empathy are just getting rarer and rarer, you know, in the wild. People just don't care about other people anymore. And it's weird. It's weird. I don't know. People care more about arguably a very cute baby monkey, right? But a monkey more than human beings suffering. And like, you have people of color willing to coonify themselves and sell out their own people for just like this desperation for proximity to whiteness that I will never understand. You'll have like Hispanic and Mexican people, Spanish people threatening to call ICE on other people. You'll have Black Republicans. I will vote for Donald. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? They do not like you. They do not like you. Nothing that you do, nothing that you say, none of the surgeries that you get will get you to that desperate proximity to whiteness that you want so bad. None of it will get you there. None of it. I don't know what it is. I've seen like people, Black and brown people who like date white people, and apparently that makes them think that they are now white people. And that nothing bad is going to happen to them. It's like, yuck. Okay. Disgusting. The one thing that like white people, European people have done well, and this is not to attack all white people, okay, but a lot of y'all, the one thing that they have done well is brainwash pretty much every kind of person of color or marginalized community into thinking that they are great. Like, beauty standards are very white, European centered. Literally, like, they pillaged, murdered, raped, enslaved everybody else, and then convinced us that we are violent and commit most of the crime. And apparently you don't know how to read statistics either, but, you know. One thing you gotta know, right, if you are one of those people of color who's desperate to be white or be in proximity to whiteness at all, is they view you as a token. And one day your token's going to get spent. And then what will you do? Because you've burned bridges on both sides. We won't take you back because we've seen what makes you cheer. And they obviously won't take you back because they used you for what they needed you for. And now they're like, I don't care about you anymore. So what are you going to do? You're just in exile. You're at Azkaban forever. I feel like I would feel differently if people like actually made active change, not just begged for applause and a key to the city because you're upsetty spaghetti that shit is expensive. You know, ew, was that millennial coded of me to say upsetty spaghetti? I don't know, y'all. It's like it's midnight. Okay, I am in bed by 9 girly. I mean, my bed do be back there, but like, I mean, like almost falling asleep pretty much by 9. I'm past my bedtime and I'm tired. But I felt like I just needed to like get this off my chest because I feel like I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Like, I used to be one of those people that was like, I want to believe the best in people. But like now I'm like, maybe a vat of acid instead. Obviously there's like no redeeming a lot of the shit that's happened. Most of the shit that's happened. But I'm talking about people who like participated in like voting for it and encouraging it and just being horrible human beings. Imagine thinking that racism makes you better. Imagine rigging the game from the beginning, right? Cutting the brakes on everybody else's bike so that way they crash and you win the tournament, and making that your entire personality to where you think that that makes you better than other people. Am I crazy, or does that just make you a loser? You rigged it from the start to highlight your own mediocrity because you know you would never win based off your own merit, and somehow you have deluded yourself into thinking that that makes you better. Like, listen, I was supposed to end this a long time ago, but like that clavicular guy who literally does meth and got so many surgeries on his face to look like the most average human being that has ever existed, ever. It's like painfully racist. It's just, I'm convinced racism is just jealousy. You're jealous. You're just jealous that like people look better than you and that they're more educated than you, and that despite all of the adversity, they're still better than you. They're still better than you. And that makes you so mad, because if they're better than you, then it kind of, it makes you question everything that you've ever been taught, and you get off on making people feel worse, unless it's, people making you feel worse about yourself, in which case you're like, let's not do that. I only like it, like, I genuinely like a degradation kink. That's what this is at this point. It's just pathetic, right? If they go out and they dox somebody, then they're like, oh yeah, I'm doing this for my people, and the Confederacy is my culture, and blah blah blah. Like, I'm pretty sure there's some people who have had shit stains last longer in their underwear than the Confederacy has ever existed. That is not your culture, bro. They literally seceded from the Union to keep human beings as property. That is the main reason that they left. And that's your legacy. I'm pretty sure, listen, there are a lot of states in this country that I think it's like, it's probably still legal to marry your sister. Just go move there. Just go do that. And leave other people alone. Leave people in civilized society alone. Okay? Alone.
Alone. Alone. Alone. Alone. Alone. Alone. Alone.
It just makes me so like mad when I think about, like, to this day there are people who think that the majority of Africa, the continent of Africa, live in mud huts. That's the level of like propaganda and gentrification and genocide and all these other things that have happened to those people. That's what they've deluded you into thinking. There are people who think that the Israelis who live in, most of them, I think like 80% of them who live in Tel Aviv, are like native to Israel, even though most of them are from Europe. Your descendants are from Europe. Most of your descendants are white people. Okay, like, no. Google is free. And if you don't want to use Google, I think there's this thing called like Echo Asia or whatever it is, Echo Asia or something. It's like they plant a tree every time you search something. That is also free. The internet, it's a wonderful thing. Educate yourself. Okay, I'm going to go to bed now. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it because I was like, I'm going crazy. I'm going absolutely crazy, and it's so hot, and I'm dying, and everything is horrible, and the coral reefs are gone, and 10% of like Antarctica's like gone. You know what? The ice is gone, polar bears are melting, everything sucks, and the oil companies just don't care. Yeah, just don't care. No, we have to destabilize and get the oil out of Venezuela first before we do anything. But no, I'm liberating people. I genuinely feel like in a year or two, I'm going to be sitting in a corner rocking back and forth, and not in the I have autism way, which I do, but like in the I'm genuinely going insane and like clapping my hands. Like, you know that one scene from SpongeBob where he's like, I've been waiting for you, Patrick. That's going to be me.
I've been waiting for you, Patrick.
SpongeBob, you're scaring me! Ah!
Genuinely, unless something changes, unless we eat the rich and put people in wood chippers, I genuinely don't know how my mental state will survive. And if you're going to make a comment about my septum piercing, you're essentially just telling the world that you like kids. So, which is, you know, not far off from what you apparently subscribe to. So anyway, that's all I have for this video. If you like this video, then good for you. And I will see you in my next one. Bye. I know that nobody was like forcing me. Nobody had a gun to my head forcing me to make this video. But like, I feel like, yes, a lot of people do come to YouTube to get away from their problems, to get away from bigger issues. But I personally feel like ignoring it or pretending like it didn't happen or pretending like it's not happening right now is not only disingenuous to people who claim to be good people, but it's also doing a disservice to the real people being affected, you know, misplaced, assaulted, killed by the very real things that are happening right now. So, yeah.
If I had literally one single comment that was accusing me of being MAGA or a Trump supporter, I would be running, sprinting with a quickness to my stories, to a post, to a reel, to a TikTok, to every single form of social media that I have to say absolutely not, never, please don't believe that about me. So when your little favorite influencers and creators and everything aren't saying anything and you're like, well, they never posted anything about it. Yeah, that's because they support it. Are we actually kidding, you guys?
I love you. Bye.